December, and that is such an exciting day for me, but I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. So I'm going to talk about something else first, and then I'm going to give you, I'm going to tell you why I'm so excited. So today it's another day, another door. I'm going to open up the door and see. It is Advent day number 5. Day number 5. That means we're 5 days in. It's going so fast. Okay, so today I want to talk to you about a very famous, probably the most famous Christmas book that there is. And it's a book that was written by Charles Dickens, and it's called A Christmas Carol. I've got to admit that the reason that I love it so much is not because I've read the book loads of times, but because of this film. This film is the Muppets Christmas Carol, and I love it. Can you see there's some of the characters on the back? There you go. I love this film so much, and it's just not Christmas until we've watched it at least once or twice. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the book that it's based on, and I've written them down. So the main character of the book, of the story, is a man called Ebenezer Scrooge. You may have heard the name Ebenezer Scrooge, or just Scrooge, before, and often people say if someone's really grumpy about Christmas, they've been a bit of a Scrooge. Now, Ebenezer Scrooge, he was not a very nice man. Okay, he was a very grumpy man, and he did not look after the people that worked for him. And his business was to take taxes from people. So he would take, you know, if you lived somewhere, you have to pay him tax, pay him money. And if you didn't pay your taxes, he would have you thrown out of your house, even in winter when it was snowing, even at Christmas. He didn't care about anyone. He was not a nice man at all. So he's horrible to everyone, horrible to the people that work for him, mean, grumpy. He goes home one night and some strange things start happening, and he is visited by 3 spirits. Okay, so the first is the spirit of Christmas past, and the spirit of Christmas past takes him back, shows him when he was a little boy, and also it shows him that his need to have lots and lots of money is the reason that the big love of his life left him. So that's really what contributed to him being so miserable, is that the big love of his life, she couldn't live with him, so she left him because he wasn't very nice and all he wanted to do was make money. So they go back in time. So that's the spirit of Christmas past. And then he has another visitor in the night, and that's the spirit of Christmas present, or the ghost of Christmas present. And it's Christmas Day. The spirit takes him around and shows him that he's got a nephew, and it shows him that his nephew is having a lovely family meal. They're all having fun and games and laughing, and they're actually saying how pleased they are that he's not there. Oh, it does make him feel a bit bad, but you can understand why, because he's so miserable and grumpy that he would have ruined their day. So he's quite upset by that. And then the spirit takes him to see the house of Bob Cratchit, and Bob Cratchit is one of the people that works for Scrooge, and Scrooge is really mean to him, doesn't pay him very much of a wage. He's not a nice man, doesn't treat him very well at all. And so he goes to have a look, and Bob Cratchit's there with his family, and they don't have very much money, but they have a lot of love. And they're having a lovely Christmas, but very sadly, Bob Cratchit's little boy, who they call Tiny Tim, is really poorly, and because Bob Cratchit doesn't have enough money, he can't be kept warm enough, and so He's very poorly, and because he doesn't have enough money, they can't look after him properly. So he goes and look, he's looking in the window and he sees them all, you know, having their Christmas. And then, very sadly, they see that Tiny Tim, because Bob Cratchit didn't have any money to look after him properly, he dies, and Scrooge is really upset and he feels really terrible, but because it's just a vision, he can't do anything. He can't do anything to help. So he's very sad and he feels really bad that he was not a very nice person and didn't look after Bob. So it then goes on, and it's the Spirit of Christmas Future, or the Ghost of Christmas Future, and it shows him that in the future he will die and nobody cares. Everybody's actually quite pleased that he's gone, and people are making jokes and laughing, and he feels terrible because it's not very nice at all, is it? It must be awful to feel like nobody cares about you, and people are actually quite pleased that you've gone. So he has that all night. He goes and he has these visions with the spirits or the ghosts, and he wakes up in the morning and he runs and looks out the window and he calls out, "What day is it?" And they tell him that it's Christmas Day, and he's so relieved that he hasn't missed it. So he decides he is going to make it up to everyone. And he goes around, he makes up with his family, he has a lovely Christmas meal with them, and then he goes around, he gives Bob Cratchit a raise, so he's got more money, he pays him fair wages, which means that he can look after his family and keep the house warm and care for Tiny Tim. And he makes everything better. He learns that he is not a nice person, but he can change. So he learns that he can change, and he has a wonderful Christmas, and he makes everything better. All the nastiness that he's done, he fixes it, and he treats his work as well, and he ends up having a nice happy life. But he wouldn't have done if he had been woken up to what a meanie he was. So that is the story in a nutshell, and it's a very, very big book, kind of thick book, so that's a real nutshell that I put it into. But it's a lovely story, and it's really the meaning of Christmas, isn't it? That we should try and help others and be kind to others and look after other people. And because it is such a good moral, it's such a good meaning to the story, there have been hundreds of adaptations, and I'm talking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. Television, radio, films, there's just so many of them, and it's just done lots and lots and lots. But like I said, I think there can only really be one amazing one, and that is this one. I think this one is brilliant, so I can't wait to watch this. I think we might have to watch it when we decorate, because we didn't get around to decorating. I thought we would have done, but we didn't. So we've still got our decorating to do. Today I would like to say a massive hello to Noe and Ruby. Hello, hello, hello. And I also want to tell you why I am so excited. So if you are a child from Germany, Austria or Holland, you might be putting your shoe out tonight. Well, I'm going to tell you all about it tomorrow, but just very briefly, tonight children put their shoe out and St. Nicholas or Santa Claus comes to pop a little present in, or some little goodies, little sweeties. And tomorrow is St. Nicholas's Day. So I'm going to tell you all about that in tomorrow's video, but tonight just think of some very excited children popping their shoes out. Yeah, I think we're going to do it as well. Very exciting. And yeah, that's my day today. So the last thing we need to do is a Christmas joke. Go! Christmas joke time! What does Santa do in his garden? He ho-ho-hos. Another great one there. And all that's left to say is that I hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you